Hey, hello everyone. Happy Saturday to all of you. How are you all doing? Good to see you all. Can you please give me a number one if I'm coming in loud and clear for you? I'm going to go ahead and make this live stream not very long. Just wanted to check in with you all, and I thought that I would give you an update on what I think may happen here in the future concerning silver. All right, I'm getting a number one. All right, thank you very much. Lom, how you doing? Good to see you, brother. I hope you're enjoying your silver. I think you're the one. I think that's you, right? I think that's you, right? That I met at Costco the other day. Good to see you again, man. Let's see, Scott, how you doing? Good to see you. I think Evita's in the house. Evita, I got your package. I opened it up, and it filled my entire kitchen with fragrances or spices. Very nice. So thank you so much. Don't sell your silver, hold on to it. Well, I'm going to talk a little bit about that, just to let you all know, the different time. There are some times where you may want to do a little bit of speculating, but that's 100% up to you. Remember, I'll say it right now, because I am on the internet. I am not a financial advisor, ladies and gentlemen. I am just an old man with a dream. Let's see, Stormy, how you doing? Let's see. Sharon, how you doing? Good to see you. Ray, how you doing? Good to see you. Salty Dog is in the house, as always. Good to see you. Brad. Alfredo Torres, how are you? Hey, Jeff Romo, how are you doing, my friend? Good to see you. Country Kid, poor with a purpose. I'm coming in fuzzy. You know what? It's Saturday, huh? I bet you this is probably not a great time to come in because it's Saturday and my hotspot's probably not working that great. Let me see if I can put it over here. This is my internet right here, ladies and gentlemen. That's my internet right there. Let's see. Andy's in the house. Janet's in the house. Boone, how you doing? Regina. All right. Oh, that's right. International Stacker's got his live stream now. You know what? I forgot all about that. Obviously, I didn't enter for his giveaway because I want other people to win it. But yeah, maybe we won't stay that long. No Starlink. No Starlink right now. I'm trying to conserve a little bit. Tatiana, how are you doing? Oh, it's almost over? Okay, well, good. I hope that they're having a good time. International Stacker's a great guy. Don't tell him, but I got him something, all right? So don't tell IS. I'm pretty sure he's not going to watch this live stream, especially when he's doing his. But I was at the coin shop the other day, and I don't think you'll be able to see this. But I was at the coin shop the other day, and I'm looking at these little coins they have for sale there, or these little rounds. They're Alaska rounds. And I found one that has an Alaskan king crab on it right there, if you can see that. So I'm going to go ahead and send that to him. But don't go over there telling him that I'm sending it to him. Like I said, I'm pretty sure he's not going to see this part of my live stream. Okay. So you see, you're not the only one with internet problems. All right, ladies and gentlemen, so I want to talk really quick about selling silver. So let me tell you what it is that's had me worried about okay, so listen, if you have physical, you're good. I don't believe it's human nature to want to get ahead. It's human nature to want to do better, right? It's in all of us. Well, hopefully it's in all of us, right? To want to aspire to do better, to get ahead in life, to leave our children something once we're gone, all that kind of stuff. That's human nature. And in my opinion, as long as you're holding this, don't worry about the nominal price, because this is valued at what it's valued. The value in this never changes. However, in the past, I have heard of people trying to make a little bit of profit by increasing their stack in number of ounces without having to spend any of their additional or extra fiat currency. Let me give you an example of that. And that's one of the warnings that I want to warn you about right now, is maybe falling into that trap. But I'm going to go ahead and tell you this real quick. So make believe that this is 100 ounces of silver, right? Make believe that I'm holding 100 ounces right now, and make believe that when silver was about $105, $108, that I sold this 100 ounces for $100, you know, about $5, $6 back, which is very fair in my opinion. So let's say that I sold this 100 ounces at $100 and I got $10,000 for it. Okay. So if I was thinking that the nominal price of silver was going to go down, I went ahead and sold my 100 ounces, grabbed my $10,000, and I told myself, okay, let's see if it goes down to 80. If it goes down to 80 or to 70, I'll go ahead and buy back my 100 ounces. And voila, it went back down to around 80 or so. And this is all just hypothetical, right? It went back down to about 80 or so, where I could buy it back for 80. I bought back that 100 ounces, but it only cost me 8,000 of the $10,000 that I had from selling it initially. So that leaves me an additional $2,000 of fiat currency with my original 100 ounces. Then I can take that $2,000 and do whatever I want with it. If I want to buy more physical with it, I buy more physical with it and increase the number of ounces I have, with pretty much not having had to exert any labor to earn more of that fiat currency. Or if you wanted to take that $2,000 and go buy something that you wanted to buy, you go do that, right? But that is a way that you can increase your stack, but you have to be very careful. And the warning is this: what I see coming with silver is, and I have to tell you the backstory, is that, and I've been talking about this with a friend of mine for a while now, the thing that has me worried about the nominal price of silver is that it hasn't gone back down to touch the previous high. The previous high, where there is an awful lot of support. If you look at the chart, there's an awful lot of support around the previous high, which was around $50. So if you take a look at the $50 to about the $55, $57 mark in that area, there's an awful lot of support. And the price of silver hasn't gone back down to test that. That's the only thing that has me worried about the nominal price right now. Does it have me worried about the nominal price in the future? Absolutely not. I believe that once we test that level, that we are going to then start going up in trenches and ultimately breaking our all-time high of 121, and then it is off to the races. And again, once we break that all-time high, we may go up to 140, we may go up to 160, but whatever we go up to, it's going to have to come back and retest the new all-time high of 121. So in my opinion, we still have to retest the old all-time high of around $50, around the $50 mark, before we can continue through our new all-time high and then come back and retest that. That's what has me worried about the price and about the euphoria that some people may have with silver right now, that are going down and FOMOing into it, or fear of missing out is what FOMO means. So silver looks like it's going back up. It went down and it hit about $63. And remember, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm talking to you as a layman. Why? Because most people in the U.S. are laymen, right? They're people that are not really, educated specifically in stuff, especially monetary things like this. And it's just the way that I see it. But I see silver going, it went up, or it went to a bottom here, a short-term bottom of about $64 or $63, and then now I think it's sitting at about 77. Well, it looks like it broke out of a wedge, which means that it's more than likely going to start going up on Monday. So on Monday, it's more than likely going to start going up because it broke out of a wedge and it's just above it. So on Monday, if we close that day above that wedge, probably around above 78, 79, I think it's going to go up to its next level of support at about $90, $92, $93, something like that. Somewhere between like 88 and 92 or 93. All right. And then it's going to probably start testing trying to go down and go up, and then it's going to probably break on the downside to test that 54, 55. The thing is it needs to test that, and it's very healthy. It's very healthy for the market for it to test that level before it continues to make its next step up to a new all-time high above that 121, 122 that we hit not too long ago. So the reason I tell you this is because the example that I told you on how you can increase your physical stack, for some people that may be thinking about doing that, it could be a little bit dangerous because it may be bouncing up and down enough to where there's not enough room for you to be able to trade it back and forth as far as the premium goes. Because if you go to a coin shop, for example, let's say it hits $90 next week sometime, and I went to trade this in, and I only got about $85 for it because they're paying $5 back, roughly, right? And then when it goes down before it starts going back up, let's say it's only $78 or $79, and the premium to buy it is $4 or $5 up, then you're really not gaining anything. And the only thing that you're really gaining is the risk of some crazy thing happening that no one was expecting to make it either go up even higher, and then you're stuck with that cash and not knowing whether to buy at a higher amount or wait to see if it comes back down. It's just right now we're living through kind of like unprecedented times when it comes to this. So I want to caution you as far as you may be thinking about doing that. Now, trading the market, that's a totally different thing if you're trading the market in silver, because you can get in and out very, very quickly. Another thing is let's say that silver, let's say that silver goes up to $100 again, right? Let's just say, and you go ahead and you try to do that thing where you sell 100 ounces because you think it's going to come back down and you buy it on the cheaper. So let's say that you go ahead and sell the 100 ounces and you're sitting on $10,000. And then let's say that it goes down to $70 and you're like, oh my goodness, I can go buy back my silver and still have another couple of $1,000s left over. How do you know that it's guaranteed that there's going to be physical silver available where you are, right? So how do you know that? So these are a few precautions that I think you need to think about if you're considering trying to trade in and out of physical in order to increase your stack, right? So if you all saw a video that I put out sometime last week where I showed you how I split up my silver stack into tranches, one being part of it that I will never ever touch. I plan on leaving this to my kids. Part of it being a piece that's an emergency fund, and then the other part being a piece where I do whatever I want with it, and if I want to speculate with it, I can. If I want to buy me something with it, I will, whatever it is, and that's what it's for. So if that's how you're doing it, if you're treating your stack in tranches, if you're separating in tranches and you're playing with the part that you can do whatever you want to do with, then that's great. But I would caution you that it's easy during the volatility that we're going through right now. It's easy for you to cut yourself short, right? Because you may sell your silver really high and then you're going to go buy it really low, but then you find out that there's no physical available or that the premiums doubled. And now in order for you to buy back that same silver, it may cost you more than what you got from it just because of the premiums added onto the spot price. Right. So that was kind of the caution that I wanted to talk about here, because during these times, and this happened before, people don't normally think very logically. They're just concentrating on the nominal price. And that's really the last thing that you ought to be thinking about is the nominal price. Is it good that silver is finally getting its day? Yes, it is. But in my opinion, it's nowhere near to its day. Its day is yet to come. I mean, in my opinion, in the next couple of years, 2-3 years, it's going to be incredible what silver does. And I still hold to the video that I made here. I think it was in December of 2025, where I said that in 2026, silver is going to be the biggest story of the year. I still hold to that. I think that this is going to be the biggest story of 2026. And there's a lot of stuff happening, isn't there, ladies and gentlemen? Right. So just be careful what you do. Remember, don't get greedy, right? Be smart about how you treat your wealth, because that's exactly what this is. This is bits and pieces of your time, all right, trapped in this coin or held in this coin, right? The wealth that you gave up with your time, with your skills, with whatever it is that you had to do to earn the fiat currency to turn it into this, that is your wealth. That is your property. And this holds little pieces of it so that later on you can trade it for something that you need or want, and know that the government or the fiat currency system by which we are governed did not steal any of its purchasing power. That's what this is, ladies and gentlemen. It's not something to fall in love with. It's just something that is nice to have, because you know that your wealth is not being stolen from you through the power of inflation. So let's see here. Dale from Ohio. How does technical analysis help when some dude in Singapore with billions is manipulating the market? Well, believe it or not, technical analysis really does tell you. Like technical analysis, that big drop, you know, I wasn't really looking. Okay, I was all in it. When silver was going up and up and up, I was all in it. I was in with everyone else. I was in awe. I was rejoicing. I was so happy. I wasn't thinking about TA. All right. I was thinking about, thank you, Lord. Thank you that it finally happened. Thank you. You know, that's what I was thinking. And I'll tell you that right now. That's the truth. But technical analysis does tell you that. Technical analysis does tell you where, hey, this is getting way overextended. It'll tell you if something's getting way overextended, that you should probably be careful and maybe take some profits, maybe get out of it a little bit, and you know, follow whatever rules it is that you follow, because a lot of people's TAs are different. But really, TA is nothing but tracking human nature. That's what it is. But I understand what you mean, Dale. I understand completely what you mean. You're saying that the market is so manipulated that how is TA going to help you when, you know, when a whale from China decides to short 400 or I don't know how many millions of ounces it was that he decided to short, stuff like that. But TA will let you know if you're getting overextended. Okay. Let's see. Okay. Oh, I saw the word stimulus check, and that's just not a good thing, believe it or not. Garden Night Girl CT. Let's see. We the people gave fiat currency value in our labor hours. That's why they gave out stimulus checks during lockdown. Yeah, and if you all were with me during those stimulus check months or years, I was one of the ones saying, this is a terrible idea. We are going to end up paying whatever they give us back for the rest of our lives. And we are still paying that back today. Before the stimulus, before the health crisis era, all right, it cost the average family in the United States about $1,100 a month less to live. All right, so we all received, on average, per person, we received about what, $3,200 altogether from all the stimulus checks that they handed out. And now it's costing the average family about an extra $1,000 a month, $12,000 a year to live, compared to prior to getting that stimulus or those stimulus checks. So we'll be paying that back for the rest of our lives. And a lot of people gave me a hard time about saying, we do not want this. We do not need this. We're going to end up paying this back. And I still remember the famous quote that I got from someone, bless her soul. She says, but really, some people really need this money. Well, if you ask them today, now that their lives are twice as expensive as they were back then, I wonder if they would agree that that was not a very good idea to get those stimulus. You have to understand, those stimulus checks, they weren't to help the American people. Those stimulus were handed out to the American people so that the corporations and billionaires that have politicians in their pockets could get even richer, right? They're the ones that really got rich from the health crisis era. The average person did not. Okay, that's why they decided to close down the mom and pop shops and leave the big corporate box stores, chains, etc., open. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's not for you. All right, when they do that kind of stuff, they don't do it for we the people. All right. I mean, I'm sure that most of you would probably agree that our government is no longer for the people. right? All you have to do is just take a look at example after example after example. All you have to do is take a look at how many people on that list have been arrested. How many people that are 100% known right now to be fraudulent have been arrested? Oh, they get investigated forever, but do they ever get arrested? I haven't seen anyone get arrested. I haven't seen any big names get arrested. And I understand why they're doing what they're doing. It's because they need to preserve themselves. You see, the job of government is to ensure that government survives. That's the job of government. You see, do all these bunkers that they have for government, all these contingencies that they have for government, is for the continuation of government. It's not for the continuation of the people. Do you think that they've built enough bunkers in the U.S. to house everyone in the U.S. in case there was some kind of catastrophic attack or weather or something like that? No, but they have built enough bunkers to house the people in government and more than likely some other people that can be used as security, right? So yeah, the government, unfortunately, we've allowed it to get too big and too strong by allowing it mainly to hold the purse and to hold the power of printing money out of thin air. Because you see, when they're allowed to print money out of thin air, what we're allowing them to do is we're allowing them to dictate to us what our labor is worth. So we're pretty much allowing them to dictate to us what we are worth. And we are our most important property. All right, let's see. Let's go down here. I've got if you all, I've enjoyed the last couple of live streams where I went over some funny memes just to break up the monotony of talking about serious stuff all the time. So I'll do that towards the end of this live stream here in the next few minutes, because I'll tell you what, I find it kind of fun, you know, and hopefully some of you all there do as well. And also for my Patreons and my club members, ladies and gentlemen, club members, I started putting up, I've only done one so far, but I'm going to do this on a regular. I'm going to go ahead and start putting up some behind the scenes videos of little things that I really don't put on YouTube. That way, it's just a way of me. I know that most of you that are on there are just on there to support me, and I truly do appreciate it. But it's really a way of me saying thank you very much for staying on there. Even through the month that I wasn't doing YouTube, you all stayed on there and really helped me. So I do appreciate you. And it's time for me to start giving back a little bit on that side. So thank you very much. And I just want to let you know that I am going to start putting up maybe one a week or so. And I've actually got a backlog of them. So they're going to be coming on a steady basis. Let's see. Yvonne asked where I buy from. I don't have to invest $500. I don't have that much. Where do I buy from? I don't have. Yvonne, I think that what you're asking is where do you buy from and you don't have a lot of money to buy silver, right? Remember, I'm not a financial advisor, but the first place I always recommend that someone go buy physical from is a local coin shop. So you find a local coin shop in your area and you go and check them out. Maybe buy one coin or one round. And when you go there, talk to them, you know, become friends, become a regular customer, ask them to show you how they test the coins or the rounds, the silver, to make sure that it's real. And they should very, very nicely say, yeah, we'll show you. They should show you the machine that they use. They should show you how it works. It should be no problem for them to test any coin that you bring in there or that you buy from them. And that to me says a lot. If you ask them, hey, can you test this before I buy it? And they give you a problem. They give you like, no, we don't have time, whatever. I wouldn't do business there. But I first and foremost always recommend that you go to a local coin shop, or you can even go to a pawn shop. A lot of pawn shops, I think, I've never really bought silver from a pawn shop except for once, a long time ago. And I was just like a couple ounces. A pawn shop will also sell and buy silver, and they should have a machine also that lets you know or lets them know if the silver is real. And usually there's no limit on how much you have to buy, because I do know that a lot of online dealers right now are only accepting minimum orders for purchase. Right. So, and if you go to a coin shop or a pawn shop, or even if you buy from online, you can buy some junk silver right here. Look, constitutional silver. This is a quarter that was minted prior to 1965. From 1964 and below, these are minted of 90% silver. and the silver in them does have a monetary value. So I think this quarter today, I think it's like $15. Man, remember when silver was at its very high? These were going for $21. Now one of these quarters is like $15, which is still pretty impressive compared to about a year ago when they were only selling for maybe like $4.50 or something like that. So yeah, you can get some of these quarters. These have monetary value just as much as these guys do. It's just that they don't have as much silver in them. It takes about $1.40 of junk silver or constitutional silver to equal the amount of silver in 1 troy ounce like this. So it takes 4 quarters and 4 dimes, all right, of this kind of silver, this coinage, to equal the same amount of silver that this coin has right here. And you can also buy dimes, right? You don't have to buy, you know, a whole bunch. You should be able to buy 1 or 2 or 3, whatever it is that you want. Oh, absolutely. Silver is, I still stand by it. Silver will be the biggest story of 2026, unless we have some kind of a nuclear exchange somewhere. Let's see. Joshua says, long silver, gold, and Bitcoin. Buy everything. You know what? I don't mind Bitcoin either. As soon as Bitcoin gets below 40,000, which I'm pretty sure it's going to get below 40,000 because some people don't want to admit it, but I do believe that we are in crypto winter. It is crypto winter, and we're going to go down and follow the same cycle that Bitcoin's had for the last 3 or 4 cycles that it's had. So we're going to go into a crypto winter, into a heavy bear market where Bitcoin is going to lose roughly between 70 and 90% of its value. So I'm guessing around 80%, which puts it around between 30 and 40,000 for me. So once it gets below 40,000, I'm going to start dollar cost averaging all the way down, and I'll dollar cost average all the way up to 50,000. And the reason I'll dollar cost average all the way up to 50 is because I believe that the next bull cycle, the next bull run on Bitcoin, I think we'll see Bitcoin at about $500,000 a coin. Now, whether you like Bitcoin or not, doesn't really matter. I don't like or dislike. You know, what am I going to use Bitcoin for? The next time that it goes down and I start dollar cost averaging and it goes up, I'm going to use it to make fiat currency. And then I'm going to take that fiat currency, I'm going to pay my taxes on it, and then I'm going to use that fiat currency to buy real stuff, to buy real money, right? That's what I'm going to use it for, right? No secret there. But if you can use a tool or a vehicle that's going to allow you to lawfully, right, get more fiat currency in your hands so that you can buy real stuff, so that you can pay off debt, there's no problem with that. Nothing wrong with it. Do you have any strategy to reduce capital gains tax when we eventually sell some silver? Premiums are very high now. I'm not a CPA or a financial advisor, but what I have to say about that is that by the time, good question, by the way, north of the 52nd, by the time that these things are $500 a coin, I'm not going to care very much that they have $100 of it. All right, so I'm not going to care very much that when this is because I probably won't sell until these are at least $400 to $500 a coin. So when they're $400 to $500 a coin, I would have been holding them for a year or more, and I think capital gains on a year or more on precious metals is like 25%. So I'm not going to care that these are $500 and that the government wants me to give them $110 or whatever it is of it, right? Because I'm going to have plenty. But I do understand what you mean, and I do know of a way that you can not pay capital gains. I'm not a CPA or financial advisor. However, if you're old enough like me, for example, if I wanted to, I can open a self-directed IRA, okay? And I can open a self-directed IRA. I'm 54 years old. I can open up a self-directed IRA, a Roth IRA. It has to be a Roth, because on a Roth IRA, the money that you put into it has already been taxed. Well, in this case, I would open up a Roth IRA that holds precious metals. So pretty much I'm putting that precious metals in there with taxed dollars. They've already taxed me. Well, let's say, for example, that I put 1 silver coin in my Roth IRA and I paid $100 for that silver coin today. And let's say that this silver coin in 5 years, when I can draw out of it, it's $1,000. Well, it's a Roth IRA, meaning that whatever your investment in that IRA, since it's a Roth, whatever it grew, you're never going to have to pay taxes on it. So that is a way. I'm not a CPA or financial advisor. I have to say that because I'm on the internet. That is a way that you can get around having to pay taxes on your precious metals holdings. Get a Roth IRA and make it a metals-based Roth IRA. Take a look at the sponsor of my channel, which is Alpha Omega Gold. And guess what? You can call them and you can ask them the question and they'll help you and answer it and educate you. And you don't have to buy anything, right? You can just call them. Of course, they're going to try to get you to buy some silver. They sell physical and all that stuff because that's their business. But they will educate you, right? They will tell you. That's actually a great question for you to call Alpha Omega Gold and ask them. But that's how I would do it to get around the capital gains. But in all honesty, like I said, once this thing is $500 an ounce, I don't care that the government gets their $100 or $120, whatever it may be. Yes, support human creators, ladies and gentlemen. Support human creators. And thank you very much to all of you that always come by and watch my videos. I do appreciate every one of you. I truly do. And it seems that you all really, really liked that ion light that I reviewed, what I call forever light, because it never needs batteries or it never needs to be recharged or anything like that. All you need is salt and water, because I think they're on back order now. I think that they sold out and they're in back order. And that makes me feel good. You know why? Because I really, really like that little light. I think it's a great little thing to have in your preps. And not even just in your preps, but if you use it to go camping, to keep in your car, etc. Never needs batteries. So I'm really glad that you showed enough interest in it to pretty much buy them out, because I think it's a great light. And if you have one, I think that's good that you have one. Look at this. Crazy Backyard Chicken Man says, if you're going to do the stock market, just follow Nancy. I'm sure we all know what Nancy is talking about. All right. Oh, that is, I'm so sorry to hear that, garden girl. I mean, gardening. Oh, I thought you were a garden girl. No, it's gardening girl CT. I'm really sorry to hear that. Yeah, it's so cliche though to say, you know, when one door opens, closes, another one opens, but you know, it's because we're not going through it like you are. So I'm really sorry to hear that. Let's see. Blessed Girl says, you're so right, AP. I didn't want the stimulus checks. People thought I was crazy. I mean, look, don't get me wrong. I took the stimulus checks. I took every penny they gave out. You know what I did with it? Can anyone put in capital letters, what did I buy with my stimulus check when I got it? Let's see if anyone gets it right. I'm going to go all the way down. Let's see if there's any questions. If you have any questions, make sure you put it all in caps. Well, I hope your dog gets better, Linda Bob. Let me see. I'm going to have to come all the way down because I'm really far behind. SD bullion is about $8 over spot right now. That's actually not too bad, to tell you the truth. That's really not too bad. I think it depends what part of the country you live in or part of the world that you live in, depending on the availability of metals near you. All right, because I've seen some videos where they're like, man, we are wiped out. We have nothing left. And then I've seen somewhere like, my, we've got so much, you know. So I guess it just depends where you live. I know that this is a very, very trying time for local coin dealers. Aren't silver eagles exempt from capital gains tax? Man, I'll tell you what, I hope they are. I'm not sure if they are. I don't think so, but I'm going to have to look into that. I'll have to look into that. I'll ask my CPA and see what she says. That's a great question. I think that they're not exempt. I think that you still, I mean, it makes no sense that they're legal tender and you would have to, pay any kind of tax on them, on their value. But not too many things make sense, does, ladies and gentlemen, whenever we have a corrupt system that governs us. Let's see. That's exactly why I collected silver, to pay the thieves in taxes. However, they won't take them. So, what you would have to do is just convert whatever it is that you need to convert into fiat currency to pay the taxes. I mean, that's probably the best thing to do instead of just paying them the silver. Hey, that's what it's all about. It's all about continuing to prepare. All right. Keep filling in those what is it? Gaps. Keep filling in those gaps, ladies and gentlemen. I asked you, what do you think I used my stimulus to buy? Nachos. Elle got it right on the money. Absolutely. Absolutely. That's what I used it for. Because, I already knew what was going to happen. I knew it. I was screaming it on the top of my lungs. Life is going to get a lot more expensive now, and it has. It has gotten a lot more expensive than what it used to be. I mean, during the COVID era, the Federal Reserve printed about 40% of all of the fiat currency that had been created since the beginning of our country. So since the beginning of our country, the Federal Reserve created about 40% of all of the fiat that was already out there. And people didn't think that life was going to get more expensive. And then what government does, it doesn't matter what party you're in, but what government does is that when they favor the creation of that fiat currency, and then it comes to be realized, and then prices do go up, who do they blame it on? Oh, they blame it on those greedy corporations. Well, ladies and gentlemen, and this is something that people get hung up on. They're like, oh yeah, Walmart last year made record profits. Well, that's because they're selling their stuff more expensive, because it's more expensive for them to buy it. And I just picked Walmart just out of the blue, okay? So it could be any company. It could be Costco. It could be a mom and pop shop. Of course, they're going to make bigger profits than they did last year nominally, right? Nominally. It's just like this year, you're probably making more. You're bringing home more cash than you did 5 years ago, but is it buying you anymore? It's the same thing with the corporations. But the politicians, they use that so that we can think that it's their fault when it's the politicians' fault for allowing it to happen. It's a hard world out there. Look at that silver. Hey, you all did a great job. Someone said dog food. Oh, goodness. Turkeys. Oh, someone didn't get one. Alan Satoshi. Oh, that's all right. Alan's always here. Satoshi's always here, especially Greenspan. That was Greenspan's fault. He's the one that started the money printing thing. You should be ashamed of yourself, Greenspan, Satoshi, spam. Oh, goodness. I did buy some preps. Yep, absolutely. Someone there fixed cars. Let's see, the psychedelic chicken. I like that. When selling junk silver, is there an easy way for me to cipher how much it's worth? Just average coins. I mean, it's very simple. You just go to any site. Well, let me tell you how to figure it out. For every $1.40 of junk silver, you have about 1 troy ounce of silver, okay? Because junk silver is about 90% silver, okay? So every $1.40 of junk silver is equal to about 1 troy ounce of 999 silver, okay? So you go take the spot price. So if you know that $1.40 is 1 ounce of silver, then you go and see what's the spot price of silver. It's $70. Okay, that's how much monetary silver there is in $1.40 junk silver. But it also depends on the premium and how much is in demand. Like right now, the buyback on junk silver is very bad because the refineries are not taking it right now because they're so backlogged on the actual 999 silver that they have to refine to turn them into Tory bars, 1,000-ounce bars, to send them off to industry. So it just really depends on the supply and demand. There's been times where the premium on junk silver was really, really high because there was a very high demand. But to give you a good estimate as to how much actually you have in troy ounces, just divide whatever you have by $1.40. All right, so if you have $140 worth of junk silver, you have 100 ounces of silver. And then you take that and you multiply times spot, and that's how much actual monetary silver you have in that amount. Okay, let's bring it on down. Let's bring it on down some. Yeah, hey, scrap metal racing, you might have a point there. Hopefully that won't come to be. Why are people worried about capital gains in bullion? Oh, I thought you meant billions. I was like, who knows? Maybe by the time that we cash these in, they'll be $3 million a piece, just like they are in Venezuela. Well, I mean, it's an honest question, scrap metal racing, that people are worried about how much they have to pay in capital gains, depending on how much they have to cash in, because some people may need to change their silver over to fiat. You know, sometimes life happens and you may have to change it over to fiat so that you can, take care of life. If something may happen where it's an emergency and you have to exchange it, and you want to make sure that you do everything, I won't say lawfully, but legally, because paying capital gains on anything, in my opinion, is not lawful, but the politicians have made it legal, right? If you don't want to end up in an 8x8 jail cell, because you're cashing that stuff in, especially if it's a large amount, then, sometimes you have to pick your battles, right? Hey, thank you, Scott. Thank you for that. Who got that free membership? Say thank you to Scott, whoever got that free membership. There's the man that started it all with your computer programs, who forgot to put in the zero or whatever it was for 2K, for the 2000. Oh, goodness. All right, you all want to see some stuff from my X account? Oh, by the way, I am on X, and I do put my videos up there. If you wanted to follow me on X, that way whenever I put a video up, you'll know that it's up if YouTube is not notifying you. And again, thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, those of you that are here, for supporting what I do and always showing up. I truly do appreciate you all. Let's see. Let's see. SD bullion, I'm guessing you're saying, has 1 ounce rounds that you can easily break. Yeah, those are pretty cool. Those are pretty cool. I've seen those. Oh, you got it now. Good. Good. Hey, Tristan, how you doing, brother? Hey, thank you, Tristan. Thank you very much. Let's see. Thank you for giving me the knowledge of silver and able to buy land and build. Yes, Tristan, when you told me that, I was so happy for you, brother. I was so happy for you, because what you have now is you have freedom, right? Having a paid off piece of land and a paid off house or a cabin, even though you may still have to pay a little bit of taxes on it, it's not as much of a burden as it is having a full blown mortgage. So that's good, man. It's good to see you, man. It's always good to see you. Ladies and gentlemen, I am not a financial advisor. Okay, I have to say that because I am on the internet. Let's see. Okay, let's take a look at some of these guys right here. Check this out. I want to go through these with you all. I just think that some of these are really funny. Look, Silver Bulls just 37 days into 2026. Look how exhausted the Silver Bulls are right now. I think that's hilarious. Have any of you seen this movie, Fury? That is, if you've never seen that movie, that is a tough movie to watch. All right, so be careful. But man, I'll tell you what, I mean, I guess warheads are always going to be warheads. Sometimes I wonder myself, I'm like, you know what? I've been there and done that, but man, why is it that I'm still so attracted to these kinds of movies? But it just is what it is, I guess. Maybe I need a little bit of help upstairs, huh? Let's see. Sell. She's telling him, sell. What are you doing? It's not a loss if you don't sell, he says. Look at this guy here. Silver investors who bought silver at 20 ounces. How many of you are this guy right here? How many of you are this guy right here? Those that bought silver at 20 ounces. That's awesome. Let's see. Gold highest weekly close in recorded history. I didn't even realize that this was gold's highest weekly close in recorded history. That's awesome. Good. Let's see. Stephanie says physical silver is becoming increasingly hard to find. 2026 will be a silver bomb on the financial system. Future paper games in silver is a very dangerous strategy. March will be when the poop hits the fan. And from what I understand, ladies and gentlemen, in March, the COMEX is not going to have enough silver to deliver what needs to be delivered. And I do believe that we're going to find out what the amount of silver that needs to be delivered in March is. I think we're going to find out later on in February. So it's going to be a very interesting month. We're just going to have to see what happens. The one bro who learned trading by himself with all the risk. Yep, look at that. Going against the fire, going against the arrows. That was pretty much me. I didn't really get that much with trading, but I did learn wherever I could. Let's see. Gold near 49.66, silver 77. Both are rising again. This is not noise. That is the bull cycle restarting. Again, I think that we're going to probably end up testing our old high. But ladies and gentlemen, remember, if we have to retest our old high of $50-something, that's, in my opinion, something to rejoice. Because it's going to give those people who maybe didn't know about silver or gold and found out about it during the bull market or this intermediate, because right now we're not even in a bull market as far as I'm concerned. We're like in an intermediate bull market. We're just getting started. It's going to give those people that maybe just found out about silver because of all of the hooray and celebration and stuff like that that's been going on and all the volatility up and down, maybe give them an opportunity to buy some, right, and to actually hold some. So it may be a blessing in disguise. And then again, I also think that it's very bullish that silver's nominal price dip back down to the old all-time highs so that it can then really regain the bull market and then just go to the moon, because that's where it's going eventually. Let's see. Oh, excuse me. Okay. I'm trying to find a couple more here before we shut this off. This guy says, I'm buying Bitcoin at any price, and I'm buying silver at any price. Look at this one right here. I've been holding This guy's been holding the same stock for 7 months, and this is what it looks like after he sells it. A green candle straight up to the moon. Oh, man. Sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. Here I am just laughing at myself. Look at this. This guy is holding the same stock for 7 months, and as soon as he sells it, what happens? A green candle straight to the moon. Oh yeah, look at this. This is from Smart Silver Stacker. Great YouTube channel, by the way. If you haven't checked them out, go check out Smart Silver Stacker. Really good guy. So you see here, this is silver at the end of the week right here. It broke out of this wedge right here. Okay, which means that on Monday, in my opinion, on Monday, if it closes the day above this wedge, it's going to be going up. I think it'll probably go up to around 90 or so. And then it'll start coming back down. It's gonna go up and down and up and down and down until it retests the old all-time high, and then it'll start coming back up. However, he also did a logarithmic chart, which means that it's a chart in percentages, and it still hasn't broken out on that chart. So Monday is going to be a very interesting day. This is another great channel here that I follow, Felix Pren. Very, very good teacher. A very good teacher he is. Actually, you ought to go and man, I should start hearting these. Because yeah, because that way you guys can get them. If I repost them, you guys can get them. Yeah, you should go watch his video from today. Very good. Another guy that I follow, his name is Bald Guy Money. Let's see. And look at this, like this right here from Lobo Tigre. He's another financial guy. He's really, really smart. Things that were 121. So listen to this. For those of you that really concentrate on pricing a lot, this makes a lot of sense. This is silver when it was $121. And this is silver when it was $77. And this is what silver will look like when it's $208. Meaning what? Meaning that the silver never changes. It's always the same. It's the fiat currency that changes. It's its value. So that right there should be enough reason for people to say, yep, we need to hold silver. So, all right. Let me see. Man, look at that. We're almost an hour in. And let me see. United States. What's my X account address? It's in the description of the videos. If it's not in the description of this video, let me double check and see if it is. It should be, because I put it on for all of them. Yeah, it's on the description of this video too. I'll go ahead and put it up. Second, I'll go ahead and put up my link right here. Boom. Copy. Here you go. I just put it out. Thanks for asking. Oh my goodness. There it is right there. You can follow the link right there on the chats. Thanks for asking. I think I've seen a question out there somewhere. I was a forward observer north of the 52nd. That's what I was. I was a fister. What is, man, I'm forgetting what was my MOS? 13 Fox. Geez. Ladies and gentlemen, I mean, it's been over 10 years now since I've been out of the game. So, yeah. And senile. 13 Fox, yes. And I try to be a forward observer now, just in the news and things that's going on. So, ladies and gentlemen, let me go ahead and let you all go so that you can continue to enjoy your weekend. I mean, I hope that you got something out of this, especially those of you that were wondering, hey, should I sell my silver or not? I think that what it comes down to, if you ever have to sell this for fiat currency because you need to, then that's what it's for. I try to tell people, some people are like, oh man, I have to sell it. I'm like, why? Well, because this happened and that happened. Hey, that's what it's for. That's what savings is for. And that's what this is. This is just a form of savings that cannot be devalued by inflation, right? That allows you to keep your labor that it costs you to actually put it into this. So, yeah, you will have to make up your own decision on what you're going to do with it, you know, on how you're going to treat your wealth, because that's what you're doing. This is how you treat your wealth, all right? And but if you have to spend it because life happens, that's what it's for. You know, that's what money is for. It's just a tool. You can't fall in love with this stuff. I really, really love the concept of, or not the concept, but the reality. I love the reality that governments can't really steal our purchasing power if we hold this, right? But as far as falling in love with the concept of money, nah, money is just a tool for you to use to be able to sustain your standard of life and to be able to do things with it if you have excess wealth to help others, if you can. All right, that's what it's for. It's just a tool. All right, so have a great rest of your weekend. I think tomorrow I'll probably put out a short video. I haven't really looked over the news for a few days. You know, I've been busy doing some other stuff. So I'll probably put out a short video tomorrow, maybe a compilation of everything that I find that was pretty interesting throughout the week. So hope to see you then. And again, thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, for all of your support. I truly do appreciate you. And I appreciate those of you that show up during the live stream, because I really do enjoy the fellowship. All right. So God bless every one of you. I love you all. God bless America. And just a second, I'm a lab prepper and I am out. God bless.